Hey everybody, I'm Andrew of the Movie Buff Pains, and welcome to another episode of Andrew's Animation. I've been trying to decide what direction I want to go with my segment on this channel, and I think I've finally decided on something I'm very interested in doing, and I'm hoping you'll be interested in it too. Now, I can go on for days about the various big studios out there. I mean, Disney, DreamWorks, Illumination, Sony Animation, Blue Sky, the list goes on and on. And honestly, I've seen just about all of their releases, so I could definitely talk about them for a good long while. But I actually wanted to do something a little bit different. Yeah, eventually I will talk more about these studios. I'm sure I'll go on for far too long about them. But for now, I actually want to go over something different. And that's actually smaller releases. I'm talking stuff that you get that's straight to streaming or straight to disc. Or maybe it came out in the theaters but left 2 weeks later because no one went to see it. That's the kind of stuff I'm interested in. Recently, I decided to catalog everything that was animated that I don't have on Blu-ray yet. I had to use Bluray.com as my resource for that. Now, admittedly, Bluray.com doesn't always get everything perfectly accurate, but they are still pretty reliable when it comes to listing all the available releases of a movie. So I just told it to show me everything that was animated and on Blu-ray. And boy, oh boy, did I get a list. I thought I already owned a pretty fair share of everything that's animated on Blu-ray. But this website proved me wrong. There's a lot I still need to get, and fingers crossed I will get it all eventually. What I loved about making this list though was discovering that almost all the animation on this list I made was stuff I had never heard of in my life. And that's the kind of animation that gets me really excited. I love finding stuff I have no idea what it is. Whether it's shorts or feature length, everything in between, it is just amazing when I find something that I go, what the hell is that? And one of the movies on this list, I took a real interest in right off the bat. I watched it online, and then I had to buy the Blu-ray because I actually enjoyed it that much. And it was obscure, let me tell you. Now, I do understand that there are people that have heard of this movie. It has been around since 1985. But for me, I've been alive nearly 30 years, and I only heard about this movie for the first time 3 months ago. That is amazing to me. I went that long through life never knowing this movie existed, and now I do. That movie is Starchaser, The Legend of Orin. This movie is definitely a hidden gem. Maybe it's not the greatest thing ever, but it is definitely worth checking out. Starchaser has a really unique story. I'm not sure if I've ever seen anything like it before. It involves this young man who gains a magic sword and has to fight an evil overlord to free his people. Wait a second. You know, let me try that again, because that really for a second sounded like a different movie in my head. So let me elaborate on the plot a little more. I mean, this young man teams up with a daring rogue and a princess and 2 robot sidekicks. Son of a bitch! Alright, you got me. It's a complete Star Wars ripoff. And I mean that in every sense of the phrase. This was nearly a carbon copy in a lot of ways, just animated. And honestly, I loved it. That's what I loved about it. It is the fact that it was so corny and so obviously Star Wars in disguise. And I loved every second. Now, admittedly, it does have some unique aspects to it. Orin starts off as a slave, which I definitely don't remember any slave-turned-hero aspect in Star Wars. Either that's coincidence, or those filmmakers saw the future. One way or the other. Now, the movie itself is definitely entertaining, and if you go into it remembering that it is a ripoff, then you will enjoy it so much more. It is a really fun sci-fi adventure and has a lot of interesting aspects to it that it explores on its own away from Star Wars. I definitely think it's worth a watch. It's something that I really feel that not too many people know about. Now, I bought the Blu-ray, and the thing is, I'm not even sure how long it's going to stay in print for, because it took me a minute to find the Blu-ray for a half-decent price. Because the company that put it out, Fry's Entertainment Group, this is the only thing they've ever released as far as I've been able to tell. And I don't know how much longer they're going to keep this one in release. Now, if you don't get your hands on the Blu-ray, trust me, there are other ways to watch this. Very easy ways to watch it. Trust me on this one. Go and take a look. I definitely recommend viewing this, especially if you are a fan of Star Wars. You need to see this. Yes, there is an amazingly high amount of parallels. It will make your eyes roll to no end. But if you can keep those eyes in their sockets just for an hour and a half, I really think you'll have an enjoyable experience. Starchaser would definitely be an easy 3, maybe 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. I really actually like it, and I'm really happy to own the Blu-ray as well. I mean, look at this release. This company that put it out did a pretty good job. It's a solid slipcover. It's got that lenticular on top, and that's really nice. And the interior is a little bit different as well, which I appreciate. They didn't have to do that. They could have just done a carbon copy of that front cover, but they made it a little more individual. The video and audio specs are nothing to write home about, honestly. It's a pretty average release. The video looks good in HD. The audio is, the best it can be for the elements they used, I'm sure. But it is still well worth checking out. So that's it for my first entry into the obscurities of animation. I know I didn't go too in-depth on this particular film, but then again, I feel like Star Wars Ripoff kind of says it all about it. And again, if you can look past that, I think you'll have an enjoyable experience. I can't wait to do more of these and feature different movies that I think that people just haven't seen and should. If you have any recommendations for me to check out, go ahead and leave a comment. I would love to see what kind of things you guys have to recommend for me. I'm always up for watching the craziest possible animation out there, and I love every second that I spend doing so. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that little bell for the notifications. Tune in for our regular uploads, such as our hauls and our overall collection overviews. And thank you again for tuning in to watch my segments. I know maybe they aren't the greatest things, but I really, really love everything involving animated films. And I love to share it with you guys. And I sure hope that you're enjoying it too. So thank you again for watching me gush about cartoons of all things. So that's it from me for today. Hopefully we should be putting up some more videos in the near future here, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Again, thanks for watching.